The Kenya Cup campaign. Let's talk about the state of Kenya Harlequins and actually what exactly transpired. In your own assessment, Quins, in just the concluded season, is it a season that you'll want to just forget and move on? And maybe is it a season that will say, we have this kind of a season, and maybe it is something that we'll be building on come next campaign?
Yeah, it's honestly a season. It's about building. And we looked at the performances from the previous season and said that we need to better what we had done in the season in the season that was done in the season before, and we've done that. We got to two semi-finals of the 15s tournaments, but again it's not where we want to be. We definitely want to be competing for the championships. We wanted to be playing this afternoon in the Enterprise Cup final. But then again, we need to take stock, see, review, go back to the drawing board, see where we failed, what we can improve on, and then take it from there. But all in all, there were some successes, and we'll focus on that and build on that for the coming season.
What's the general assessment, the caliber of players that you had in this outing? Players that a lot of people are saying, some of them, given a chance, they might even be able to start in the national outfit.
Definitely, we've got a very good crop of players coming up. As you know, we have a program where we run 3 teams, where our third team is actually an under-21. The Vandals is an under-21 that play in the championship, and in the nationwide league. Sorry, and those are the ones we are nurturing for the future. But then again, when we look at our top tier, sort of tier 1 players, mostly that featured for the first team this season, the average age is we're talking 23, 24. So there's still a lot of youth in that side, and still a lot of many years to come in that side, and it'll definitely get better. We plan to improve the preparation this season and improve competition amongst the squad, and we'll definitely see a bigger and stronger Kenya Harlequins next season.
Let's talk about 15s, because the competition now seems to be a war between Cabras and KCB. They have been in several finals together. What are the other teams doing? Or what are KCB and Cabras doing that these other teams also needs to do?
The investment has been sort of, you can see the 2 teams that are dominating sort of the local scene are the ones that have invested the most. And even if it's just not sort of financial investment, they've sort of invested in the game as a whole in terms of player recruitment, keeping player retention, which is very important, facilities. We see KCB are able to go and hold training clinics in South Africa. Me, myself, being in Cabras last year, I can tell you is that sort of how we prepared there is very different. You know, at Quins, we are putting in 3-4 sessions a week. At Cabras, we were putting 9-10 sessions a week. So the difference is massive. And the other teams would just need to catch up, both with financial investment and just facility and preparation, player retention, player recruitment, and then to compete. But then it's a bit refreshing again today, as much as it's painful for me to say that Impala are in a final and sort of break that KCB Cabras dominance. Yeah. So we can see that the other teams are really working hard to close the gap, and I think it can happen next season. Sort of that dominance will be broken and the gap will be closed.
The different leagues that we're having in the country, you talk about the Eric Shelley, you talk about Enterprise, you talk about Kenya Cup. They always play a fundamental role in making sure that we have players who will be of a good caliber to represent the country in the different series, be it the HSBC World Series, be it the 15s and the different games that the country competes in. Do you think we have adequate talent when you look at the crop of players in the different teams that we have? At the same time, those who get that responsibility to represent the country, how do we match all this?
Yeah, there is a lot of competitions happening all the way from the nationwide championship and into the main leagues, and there's a lot of rugby being played. There's a lot of teams being formed, which is fantastic. So kudos to the union that keeps that going. What's important is that then now we sort of improve the coaching so that at the lower levels the skills are fine-tuned a little better, so that by the time these players are coming and playing for the elite, sort of the elite squads and even the national teams, we're not focusing on the basic skills. That has already been taken care of at the lower levels, and this must not only start at nationwide but also at school level. So we need to, myself included, work with coaches at the lower levels to improve the standards of the game across the board. And you'll find in a whole, it'll help our 15s rugby, so to speak, and also our 7s rugby, which then we can then become world beaters. But I think the focus now needs to really be on the 15s. It's about time that we start competing to try and get to that 15s World Cup. And if we want to start doing that, we must start preparing now.
A lot of people say that Japan would have been the final step in this 15th side, because the World Cup actually was begging and we almost qualified, but that was never the case. But a lot also